Hello dear students, welcome you all for this video lecture. In this video lecture we are going to discuss about the another most important topic which is called as classification of drugs. In our last video classes we are discussing about what are the main causes of drug addiction. In the previous classes we are going to discuss what is drug and what are the types of drugs. Next in this class in this video we are going to discuss about what is the classification of drugs or what are the types of drugs. Mainly before going to the classification of drugs, I can again repeated that drug is a chemical substance which will be available in the different forms like tablets, capsules, different type of liquid form, liquid dosage form, solid dosage form, semi-solid dosage form. And these drugs are mainly, if we can do the prolonged use of these drugs, then it will be addicted to the body or it will be addicted by the person. So we can discuss the different type of drugs. Now in this video we are going to discuss about what are the classification of drugs or what are the types of drugs. Generally the drugs can be categorized into or classified into 5 types. Generally I mean drugs ta kete bahari vyabhato karche 5 bahari vyabhato karche. These are the narcotic drugs, depressant drug, stimulant drug, helsinogens and anabolic steroids. On कहली generally the drugs can be classified into mainly 5 categories or 5 classes or the 5 types. These are narcotic drug, depressant drug, stimulant drug, hallucinogenic and anabolic steroids. We are going for the brief discussion about what is the narcotic, what are depressant and what are stimulant and what are the hallucinogenic and anabolic steroids. Okay, then start the narcotics. What is narcotics? These are the drugs which suppress the brain activity and relief from the pain. Generally, the narcotic drugs are the substance or the chemical substance or the medicines which will be killed the mainly relief from the pain if any accident or major operation is there, the body feel or the tissues can feel the different type of pains, and from the quick relief from the pain, this type of drug we can use. And if we can use this narcotic drug for the long time period or the prolonged time period or for several time or for several years, then it will be addicted by our body or the different type of muscles. If we cannot further take or we can stop down it, suddenly stop down it, it may harm to our body or the tissue level of the body. So देखो कौन कहला narcotic drugs. These drugs suppress is nothing but the slow down or slow down माने कमाई दिए. तो कौन कहला these drugs suppress the brain activity. ଆମର जो brain ର activity that is mainly based on the CNS, that is the central nervous system. It can suppress or it can slow down the brain activity and it will be relief from pain. एटा हमर कोन करछि relief करूछि माने हमर जो pain होछि हमर body रो जो pain हुए से जो pain रो एटा हमहु generally relief दिए. Generally से जो example नै जो हमें गोटे दिटा drugs कोन अछि, what are the narcotic drugs like morphine. You can see in a medicine strip, if your grandparents will be used these drugs or the painkiller drugs, generally it contain morphine or codeine or pethidine. In the composition of the drug, these drugs are mainly available when it will be, and it is mainly available in the form of painkiller. Generally we are going to the medicine shop and asked to give a painkiller to us. They generally give the medicine and that medicine contain the morphine, codeine and pethidine. These are generally called as narcotic drugs. Generally we can call it as painkiller drugs, but in the language local language it is called as painkiller, but in the pharmaceutical field these are called as narcotic drugs. So what is narcotic drugs? The drugs which can relieve from the pain and suppress the brain activity. These drugs are called as narcotic drugs. Some example of the narcotic drugs are morphine, codeine and pethidine. Next, after the narcotic drug, next drug is the depression drug. देखो पिले हमर वर्ड रू ही हमें बुझी जीवा व्हाट इज डिप्रेशन. डिप्रेस डाउन कर दिए आम जनरली गुटे इफ ए पर्सन विल बी सैडनेस और इफ विल बी द लाइफ विल बी गोज फॉर द प्रेशर एंड लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स विल बी हैपन इन द लाइफ सो दे विल बी डिप्रेस्ड. तो डिप्रेशन कौन देखि दियो भलसे द ड्रग्स that suppress or slow down the CNS activity, that means the central nervous activity or the nerve cell activity, that means it will be slow down or suppress the activity. Let's think about if a psychic person is there and if they will be disturbing to the society, we can give the suppression drug and the activity of the CNS will be slowed down and they will be goes for the sleep. माने कौन कहल जे गोटे पिक्चर जदि हमर साइकिक पर्सन जदि थिवो सेठी हमें किसी सप्रेस ड्रग ता हमें ताको दोचे जा फल से जो ड्रग्स ता इंटेक कला फल रे ब्रेन रे एक्टिविटी को तार स्लो डाउन कर दिए एवं व्हिच में इंड्यूस टू स्लीप ताको धीरे 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 निद लागि होगा से एवं से सोई पड़े. तो लाइक दिस देखो डिप्रेशन कौन कहला द ड्रग्स that suppress or slow down the activity of the brain and nerves, these are called as depressant drugs. It act on the CNS. ये generally हमर का ऊपर act करे it will be act on the CNS ऊपर ये effect रखाए to create calm हमर brain टा calm रखिबार साहाय्य करे शांत रखिबार साहाय्य करे calm and sedating effect and which may leads to the sleepiness जोटा हमर कोन करछि हमु निद आसबार साहाय्य करछि. So these drugs are called as depressant drugs. Some example of depressant drugs are barbiturates. देखो कौन कहला नाटा मन रखियो पहले barbiturates, benzodiazepines. These are the different drugs like barbiturates and benzodiazepines. These drugs generally suppress the brain activity or the CNS activity or the nerve cell activity. So the person will be calm and it induce the sleep or they will be goes for the sleep or the activity of the brain will be slowed down. This is the second type of drugs, that is the depression. The next one is the stimulant. That means it depress करूथला से जेतु बेसी एक्टिव हो जाइतला बोले कि एटी कोन करती स्टिमुलेंट माने जो पर्सन की सब बेले डिम रुहे डिप्रेस रुहे एवं गोटे जगह चुपचाप बसी थाए तार सेते एक्टिविटी देखाय नै ब्रेन टा सेते प्रॉपर्ली फंक्शन करेनी सेही प्रकार पर्सन मानु हम कोन बोले कोचे डिप्रेस्ड पर्सन बोले कोचे सेही जो डिप्रेस्ड पर्सन मानु हम किछि एक्टिव करिया पई से मानु को हमरो कोन अलर्ट करिया पई सेटा जो प्रकार ड्रग्स दिया जाए ताको कोन बोले कोचे हम स्टिमुलेंट ड्रग्स बोले. What is stimulant drugs? The stimulant, that means increasing the CNS activity. These drugs accelerate, that means the continue or frequent, accelerate the activity of the CNS. CNS रो activity को ये frequent कर दिए बा increase कर दिए, active कर दिए, accelerate कर दिए. It make you feel energetic. If we can, a person can take the different type of stimulant like coffee, tea, we can feel energetic. हमें energetic वाली feel करते काहे से small amount of caffeine amount रहउची तो ये कोन करते हमर CNS रा एक्टिविटी को एक्सेलरेट करूची एक्टिव करिवारे हमु सहाय्य करची. So due to it will be active our CNS and the nerve cells, so that these drugs are called as stimulant drugs. So what is stimulant drugs? The drugs accelerate the activity of the CNS. It make you feel energetic. एटा तुम फील करियो एनर्जेटिक फील करियो focused, that means if we can do a proper work, generally some things in the youth office or any person they have going for this some workload, heavy workload, then they will be take tea and coffee, and that coffee or the tea contain some amount of caffeine and which may energetic and focus to that work. So it kon कहला it makes you feel energetic, focused and alert. Example caffeine, cocaine and belt nuts. तो बेल्ट नट्स मीन्स जनरली हमर जो ओडिया कोन कजे पान गोटकार जो पान रे जो येडा से जो गुआ द एसो जगह से लाइक दिस. तो देइरे कोन कहले इज स्टिमुलेंट ड्रग्स. दीज आर द ड्रग्स व्हिच कैन स्टिमुलेट और एक्टिव द ब्रेन एक्टिविटी और द CNS एक्टिविटी. लाइक सम ड्रग्स आर लाइक कैफीन, कोकीन एंड बेल्ट नट्स. These are the stimulant drugs and this is the third type of classification of drugs. So first one is the narcotic, next one is the depressant, the third one is the stimulant. Next we are going for the fourth one. These are known as helsinogens. What is helsinogens? It act on the CNS. The drugs are act on the CNS, central nervous system, to alter our perception of reality time and space. That means what you understand about the hallucinogens drugs? If we can take these drugs or the medicines, then we can feel the things that will be actually not in real, or the image that will be viewed in our mind that is not exactly exist. That means I can give one example. If we can person take the some hallucinogenic drug and the person have the less immune system and the body will be weak down, then he feel that, or she will be feel that something will be happened, or she can viewed as something will be on the blind, but exactly on the real these things are not happening. So like कौन कहले देखो, it act on the CNS, it our central nervous system ऊपर काम करे to alter our perception of reality. आमर जो exactly जो reality time ଆଉ ଆମର जो रहिला स्पेस रहिला एटा हमको एक्जेक्टली सही समय रे किछि समय पाए बोले ब्लैंक देखा जे जो जिंसटा हम संगे होथाय बा जोटा हम थिंक करथबा से जिंसटा एक्जेक्टली हो नै हला ने. तो एटा कोन कहला देखो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट तुम बुझियो बोलते इट मे कॉज यू टू हियर एटा तुमको सिमित करिवो जोटा कि हम हियर सुनिया पई सी द थिंग्स दैट आर नॉट रियल एक्जेक्टली जोटा कि नथिबो से प्रकार थिंग्स जका हम से साउंड ता सुनिला बळिया लागियो से किछि जिंस नथिबो सेटा हम देखिला बळिया लागियो. तो ये जो आम ओडिया कौन कहते जो बाया बांतुला बोली जो कहते गोटे किसी मेडिसिन खाइला पर सडनली इफ ए पर्सन विल बी वेक अप फ्रॉम दी स्लीप ये जो पर्सन जोटा कि हम हठात फील करि पारने तो यही सब जिनस कहला सेही प्रकार ड्रग्स ता हम कोन बोली कहते हेल्सिनोजेनिक ड्रग्स बोली कहते. एग्जांपल you can understand better what I can say you or what I can explain you माने बुझी पारथो तमे भलसे मु कोन कहबा चाहूची गोटे इटा गोटे सेही प्रकार ड्रग जो ड्रग टाको हम इनटेक कला परे किछि जिंस हम सुबा जाय बा देखा जाय जो कि एक्जेक्टली रियली दैट विल बी नॉट एग्जिस्ट सेटा हमर एक्जेक्टली न थाउते. तो दीज आर लाइक ड्रग्स आर लाइसर्जिक एसिड तापर नेक्स्ट असला mescaline. These are the different type of hallucinogenic drugs. If a person will be intake they will be goes far from the reality and they feel a he can feel or hear the things that will be exactly not in real. Next one is the anabolic steroids, the last one of the classification one, that is the anabolic steroids. What is anabolic steroids? These are otherwise called as androgenic steroids. The drugs which is I called you the anabolic steroids, the other name of the anabolic steroids are called as androgenic steroids. What do you mean by androgenic steroids? Because it will be why it will be give the name androgenic steroids, because it will be affect to our androgenic system. That means the our endocrine system or the system which will be stimulate the different type of hormones to our body. Generally, it will be act on our male and the female reproductive system or the male and female reproductive hormones like testosterone, progesterone, and it will be stimulate that. So what are the anabolic steroids? It is otherwise called as androgenic steroids. These are the steroidal androgens like testosterone. देखो एटा कोन आसला जनरली हमर टेस्टोस्टेरोन दैट इज द मेल सेक्स हार्मोन हला ने एई जो जनरली एटा कोन करे हमर इट विल बी स्टेरॉइडल द एंड्रोजेनिक एक्टिविटी ऑफ द टेस्टोस्टेरोन एंड इट आल्सो इंक्रीजिंग द प्रोटीन कंटेंट सेल. ये कोन करते हम देह रे इट इंक्रीजेस this symbol represent the increases, that means it will be stimulate or increases the protein content which increasing the secondary sexual character. आम देह रे ये कोन करती increasing करूची after the puberty. When the puberty will be reach into the body, it will be increasing the cell protein content substance which increasing the secondary sexual character such as growth of the body, the appearance of the different type of hairs on the body. So these are the different type of secondary sexual character which will be viewed in the male body due to the increase in secretion of the male sex hormone, that is the testosterone, like beard in the face and the hair coming onto the body surface. These are the different type of anabolic steroids. Next, if this will be decreases in our body which may lead to femaleness in the male body, let leave that. देखो कौन कहला तो ये कौन करती जनरली हमर सेकेंडरी सेक्सुअल कैरेक्टर जाका हम बॉडी रे इंक्रीज करिया सहायता करती ड्यू टू इट विल बी इफेक्ट टू आवर एंड्रोजेनिक सिस्टम और एंड्रोजेनिक स्टेरॉइड्स, सो दैट इट विल बी इंक्रीजिंग द स्टैमिना ऑफ द बॉडी. ये हमर कौन करे बॉडी रो स्टैमिना मध्ये इंक्रीज करिया सहायता करती दे. तापर ये कौन करती इट विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ द सेकेंडरी सेक्सुअल कैरेक्टर इन द बॉडी, मेल एंड फीमेल बॉडी. नेक्स्ट, these anabolic steroids are categorized into different drugs like sedative and hypnotics. Next one is the tranquilizers. So what is sedative and hypnotics? It also increasing the stamina of the body. That other classes of drugs are like sedative and hypnotics and the tranquilizers. What is sedative and hypnotics? This is nothing but it can decrease or suppress the CNS activity or the central nervous system activity or decreasing the nerve cell activity. Like if we can take the barbiturates and benzodiazepines, then it will be suppress our CNS activity and it will be keep calm to that person and which may leads to sleepiness and that person will be goes for the sleep. Next, these are the some drugs. I can give some examples like barbiturates and the benzodiazepines. Next one is the tranquilizers. That means Santo. તમે જો વાર્તાକୁ generally સુનિથો what is tranquilizer? If we can go for the wild animals and if we can the wild animals can suffer from any type of disease and we can go for the treatment, we can first or if we can capture that wild animal, then we can tranquilize them. What is tranquilize? That means it is not give a sleep or the proper drop down of the CNS activity, but it can goes for the शांत जोड़ा कहते हैं calmness ताको एनिमल टाको calmness कर दो जा फल रे से तार वाइल्ड एक्टिविटी बा जो से पूरा एक्टिव माने कौन जो पूरा ये है कि थिला पूरा रागी की थिला हला नै जोटा से पूरा माने कोन करथला जे तारो जो देखौथला एक्टिविटी जाको जोटा कि हमहु व्यस्त करथला से सब जिंस आगे ताको से कामनेस रे कर दिए. दैट इज कॉल्ड ट्रैंकुलाइजर. वी कैन ट्रैंकुलाइज द डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ वाइल्ड एनिमल्स एंड वी कैन ट्रीट फॉर देम लाइक इट कैन डिक्रीजिंग द टेंशन एंड एंजाइटी. ये कोन करछि से जो जदि ये जो मेडिसिन ना फल रे हमर टेंशन और एंजाइटी को जो विरक्त भाव बा जोटा कि इरिटेशन जोटा थिला से सब के काम करिवार सहायता करछि कमेबार सहायता करछि. It can decreasing the tension and anxiety like some examples like phenothiazines and benzodiazepines. So these are the different type of drugs. If we can go for them, then these are categorized under the tranquilizer drugs. So in this video we can discuss about the classification of drugs or the types of drugs that will be mainly available, or we can classify the drugs like it will be classified into 5 types like narcotic, depressant, stimulant, hallucinogenics and anabolic steroids. Next classes we are going for the your syllabus topic like alcoholism and the de-alcoholism. After the studying of the alcoholism and de-alcoholism, the total syllabus will be completed. Total topic of the syllabus will be completed. Okay, this is you can write. It is better to write because it will become in short notes in your board examination, either CSSC or CBSE examinations. So board examination. So the mainly it will become in your 2.5 marks, that is the short note. So you have to write it. Okay, thank you students.